The first choice you'll be presented with upon booting up Elden Ring is which class to pick. Like most Souls games, starting classes aren't a one-lane highway that dictate how you play the rest of the game. Rather, they're a collection of attributes, equipment, and spells that jumpstart your playstyle until you build into what you want. This means lower level classes will start weaker, but level up easier, and will be more adaptable as a result. Here's a quick breakdown on which class you should choose in Elden Ring. The Vagabond is your prototypical sword and shield user. The heater shield has full damage absorption, and the longsword is a great starter weapon that initially scales with strength and dexterity, but can be modified and improved to take you far into the game if you so choose. You also come equipped with the halberd, if that's more your speed, or you want to fight from horseback. Vagabonds have the highest vigor of any of the starting classes, which means more HP, but your high defense starting armor means your roll won't be effective, also known as a fat roll. Fortunately, you can just unequip your halberd when not using it to get your mobility back. The warrior trades the Vagabond's high HP and defense for quick movement and 2 scimitars. You'll probably want to invest more in dexterity rather than strength, since your dex starts at 16, with mind being your second best stat, which means you can use armament and Ashes of War abilities more freely, or even spec into magic if you so choose. Although there are better starting classes for that. The hero is the best choice for a high strength build, as it starts with the highest strength in the game, as well as very good endurance should you wish to equip better armor and weapons. Although the battle axe is a great weapon to start with, as it does good damage for how quick it is, and the shield you start with isn't bad either. You could, however, choose to two-hand a weapon for more damage, and forego the shield if that's more your speed, but blocking and parrying will surely come in handy in a pinch. You'd think the Bandit would be a dexterity powerhouse, but it actually starts with the highest arcane of any class, which maximizes your discovery, or the rate at which you find items on corpses. And while you won't excel in any of the martial stats from the very beginning, your light armor load and the Great Knife's quick attack speed lets you circle around enemies and backstab with ease, or even parry with your small shield if you're feeling fancy. And if distance is what you're looking for, your short bow will allow you to either pick off enemies from a distance or kite them one by one. Although you're not wearing much armor, so just don't get hit. Even though the Astrologer starts at a lower level, it has both the highest intelligence and highest mind of any of the classes, so your glintstone sorceries will be stronger, and you can use them more often. The trade-off is having low HP and low strength, although you have decent dexterity, so you're not completely helpless with physical attacks. You'll want to get new sorceries as soon as you can, but Glintstone Pebble and Glintstone Arc aren't too bad ones to start with, especially as the latter can hit groups. If Astrologer is the intelligence-based caster, the Prophet is the same for Faith, although a bit more martial-minded as you start with decent strength and dexterity, and a spear to make use of those attributes. But Faith is the real highlight of the Prophet, and you come equipped with 2 Faith spells, or incantations, Heal and Catch Flame. Catch Flame is a quick offensive spell you can use in between spear thrusts, but you'll no doubt want to grab new incantations as soon as you can. Early on, make sure you dance out of range and use the spear's excellent reach to poke and jump attack from afar, because the shield is just straight up boo-boo trash. The Samurai is your non-magical all-rounder, with all physical attributes in the double digits, an excellent starting weapon that can inflict bleed in the Uchi-Katana, and a longbow for longer ranged encounters. The Samurai starts with higher dexterity than strength, but you can easily invest a few levels in the former to get it up to 16 if you want a better shield. The Samurai armor also provides decent physical protection, and the Uchi-Katana starts with an excellent armament skill, Unsheath, which you can use to unleash a wide sweeping quick attack or smash down on your enemies from overhead. While the Prisoner may have an unfortunate name and look like one of the guys from BioShock Infinite that inflicted lifelong trauma upon me, it's an incredibly interesting and adaptable class. A hybrid dexterity and intelligence fighter, the Prisoner starts with the S-Stock, an excellent rapier that scales well with dexterity, as well as a good support sorcery in Magic Glintblade. If you want the freedom to switch back and forth between physical attacks and magic, and do them both well, the Prisoner is a great starting spot. Just make sure to go about it carefully. If you're looking for a faith-based character that's more physically capable than the Prophet, the Confessor is an excellent choice. Armed with a good sword, a great shield, and support incantations in Urgent Heal and Assassin's Approach, you have everything you need to make anything from a Holy Knight to a faith-based assassin. If the Samurai is the physical all-rounder, the Confessor is the same for magic. While the Wretch may seem to fit its name all too well at first glance, it's actually a good way to ensure that you don't neglect any starting attribute, as they all start at 10. Your starting level is also 1, meaning it's very easy to begin leveling how you want right away. Your first weapon is nothing to write home about, and you'll need to pump up 1 or 2 of your stats if you want to equip weapons and armor you can grab early on, like the ones you get from the soldiers' chests in the Gatefront Ruins. Choose the Wretch if you want a blank slate that's difficult at first, but with very high upside. And that's all of them. Remember that you're not beholden to your starting class, as there might be a weapon, armor, or spell you need that's just out of reach of your attributes with a few levels. And while we wouldn't recommend trying to spread out your stats too much, a bit of adaptability can really help when you meet bosses with certain resistances, or realize you need distance fighting to help with 1 or 2 encounters. And if you truly feel your stats are heading in the wrong direction, there is a way later in the game to respec your character. Check out our wiki on IGN.com to find out how. So which class do you plan on playing? Let us know in the comments below, and while you're here, make sure to check out our review of Elden Ring. And for everything else gaming, you're already in the right place. IGN.